Time for the Morgan Show. I'm Dan Watkins, WBZ, Boston's News Radio.
This is the Morgan Show. Morgan White Jr. Call 617-254-1030. Join the group and hang out with Morgan on WBZ News Radio 1030.
Busy show tonight. And you may remember a few weeks ago, somebody wanted me to do a show or an hour focusing on Batman. I hope that person is listening, because tonight you are going to get your wish. But first, a small departure from Batman. Another show that was on Thursday nights back in the day, because Batman had 2 days back in the day, Wednesday and Thursday for a couple of years. And it's about a little old witch, beautiful witch, that married a mortal, and that series lasted for 7 or 8 years. I am all set to bring in an old friend who's got 2 books on Bewitched and a third coming up. His original book, the Bewitched Compendium, and Samantha's 70s. And I, Samantha, take this mortal Darren. If you're a Bewitched fan, you got to have at least one of those in your personal library. I'm going to use his 3 names and then just go to Michael. But Adam, Michael, James, welcome aboard.
Hello, Morgan White Jr.
We each have 3 names.
We do. This is very appropriate that we're getting together today, you know.
Tell me why.
Because it's Dick York's birthday.
Oh, is Dick still with us?
No, he passed away in 1992, but, we still like to acknowledge his birthday. He would have been 93 today had he lived.
It's like saluting Lincoln's birthday on February 22nd. No, he's not still
exactly.
with us, but it doesn't do any harm to acknowledge that.
Oh, so, always. It's always good to celebrate these folks that entertained us for so many years.
All right, so tell people what's going on in Salem beginning the 19th of September all the way up to the 27th of September.
Well, yes, I want to cordially invite all witches and warlocks within the sound of my voice to Bewitched Fan Fare. It's a gathering honoring the show, and it's happening, as you said, September 19th to the 22nd over in Salem.
Oh, I mistakenly said the 27th. It's the
827, you know. Depends on what your handwriting is like.
Awful. Mine is awful.
That's why I type stuff out on the computer. But these covens have actually been bringing Bewitched fans together since 2000, and they're organized by a fellow Mark Simpson. He's the co-host and creator of Twitch Talk. That's a web series that I participate in where we discuss the show. Sidebar, the entire first season is on YouTube, and we'll be premiering our second season soon, but I digress. As for Bewitched Fan Fare, I had the pleasure of attending in 2014 when I announced the publication of the Bewitched Continuum, and in 2018. And, I can tell you from personal experience that these events are just so much fun. The best part really is just the chance to connect with other super fans of the show. And I know for the longest time, I felt like my love for Bewitched was just me. It was something private. But when you find out there's so many others, it's like you become a part of this whole big witchy family. So it's not just, getting together to talk about the show. Although this fanfare will specifically mark the 50th anniversary of Bewitched filming in Salem in 1970. I guess if you're doing the math, you're going to realize that anniversary was last year, but COVID. So we had to reschedule a few times. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And the focus will be on Bewitched Salem episodes and the experience of the show shooting there.
Is the Hawthorne Hotel going to be a part of it? Because they were central to several plots.
They are. We're saving the best for last with them. I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on. We're going to kick off with field trips to the Samantha statue in Lappin Park, and then book to the neighboring town of Gloucester, where the episode Darren on a Pedestal was filmed, and there's going to be a private tour there of Hammond Castle, which provided backdrops for Serena and her Zap to Life sea captain. You might remember that episode.
I do.
Yes. There's going to be another private tour of the House of Seven Gables, and then there's going to be events held in the, I would say this right, the Plumsock Holyoke Room of the Gables, and including presentations about each day Bewitched filmed in Salem. There's going to be episode screenings, and your favorite, Morgan, trivia.
Well, it's been a living for me for 4 decades, so I can't knock it.
Yeah, you probably have all the answers already.
Well, I don't know as much about Bewitched as you, but I'm fairly knowledgeable about Bewitched.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And this is a question slightly off subject. Who did the illustration of Samantha for Samantha's 70s? It's a great photo. I don't know if you did it or you hired somebody or what.
The artist kind of wants to keep the good news to himself, but
Okay, well, give them credit. I think that's an excellent rendition of Elizabeth Montgomery, aka Samantha Stevens.
Yeah, he did a really, really great job on that. I was very pleased with it.
As well, you should be. All right, now,
especially because it kind of took Samantha beyond the, where the show ended in 1972 and took her into the later years of the 70s, which I was really pleased with.
All right, well, let me ask you to give people, you mentioned a few websites where a lot of Bewitchophiles, if I can create that word, hang out.
It counts, it's a word.
All right, hang out, exchange information. Tell people what some of those sites happen to be.
Oh, yes. Well, the main site is bewitchedfanfare.com. And you can get tickets there through Venmo. And you can buy tickets to the individual events. There are also 1- and 2-day passes. And if you're like me and you can't make it to Salem in person, oh, my stars, you can attend through Zoom for $10 a day through the magic of the internet. And that's really cool because not only will I be there, but Dick York's son, Chris York, will be attending via Zoom.
Okay.
And like I said, I will too. And although my books will be there in Salem literally, so I'll pull Larry Tate here and say stock up on those. But yes, but integrity doesn't feed the bulldog, Darren. Come on. Bewitchedfanfare.com is where you can get all the information. And if you need to talk to organizer Mark Simpson directly, you can shoot him an email at bewitchedfanfare@gmail.com.
All right. I want to know, of all of the regulars, of which there were 8, 9, 10 regulars, who is or are there any still with us?
The children.
Oh,
Erin Murphy and her sister Diane, they're still here. And David and Greg Lawrence are still here. They just had a birthday a couple of weeks ago. But in terms of the regulars, everybody's gone, unfortunately. Elizabeth Montgomery passed away in 1995. I was crushed when that happened. Both Dick York and Dick Sargent passed away in the mid-90s. David White, I think, who played Larry, I think he passed away in 1990. Excuse me.
Okay.
And and I think, what was it? We lost Bernard Fox, Dr. Bombay, of course, in 2016. Yeah, so pretty much everybody's gone, unfortunately. But thankfully, they left us this wonderful legacy that we're always going to be able to cherish.
Dr. Bombay, come quick right away. No, emergency, come quick right away.
Come right away. There you go. I wasn't going to correct you, though. That was close enough.
I will always correct myself if I make...
At least you didn't say Dr. Bellows, because then
wrong franchise. Wrong franchise. But
wrong franchise. That's the word I was going to use, yeah.
Let me have you give the information one more time, then I'll let you go, take a break, and go on with the rest of the Morgan Show. But
yes, I must fly. But please check out bewitchedfanfare.com. That's where all the tickets are available. They'll give you the links to the Venmo. I don't use Venmo, but I hear it will work magically. And again, if you need to contact Mark Simpson, who's the organizer. With any questions you might have, you can do that at bewitchedfanfare@gmail.com. Are you going to be there, Morgan? It's just down the street from you.
I'll say maybe. I will say a strong,
okay. All right.
strong maybe. But let me have you plug one more time before I wave goodbye to you. Your books, plural. I've mentioned all of them, but
books,
you do
plural. Well, okay. I can do a little Larry Tating on that, too. First book is The Bewitched Continuum that explores the continuity of the show. Then, because Bewitched didn't have a series finale of its own, they didn't do that back then, as you know. I created one, and that is I, Samantha, Take This Mortal Darren. And then there's the follow-up to that, Samantha 70s, which goes beyond where the show would have ended, and there's one story for each year after that, going into 1979. And
you've got another book coming up.
Yeah, well, that was the one, but there's the ebook version of Samantha 70s is coming out September 21st. So right now that book's only in print, but in a couple of weeks there'll be an electronic version as well.
Perfect. Now let me wave goodbye to you. And
bye, Morgan.
And like you did, you just called me on Thursday, and I squeezed you in.
You did, and I'm very appreciative, and I know Mark is too.
All right, well, I hope it goes swimmingly for all the fans of Bewitched. And
see everybody at Bewitched Fan Fare.
And I'm going to say to Adam, Michael, James, Michael, thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.